Hey everyone, welcome back to the My Unprofessional Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Angela. So for today's episode, I'm going to be talking about something that unfortunately a lot of people have had to deal with or go through at some point in their lives, and that's the quote unquote fake friends. Like those people that everything's going so great, something happens and they really just don't turn out to be who you thought they were. Now, as easy as it is to sit here and hate on them, that's not what I want to be doing today, because in times like that, it's so easy to hate on them, to gossip about them, to talk bad about them. Like, don't get me wrong, it can be really tough to love those people, but we're still called to. Jesus loves us even though we kind of messed up a lot. He still hung around with sinners and the tax collectors back in the Bible days. But yeah, so that's just kind of what I want to talk about for today, because I think it's something that's really important, and it's so easy to just sit back and hate on those people, but that's not what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to hate anybody. We're supposed to love people. It can be really hard to know who is truly valuing your friendship and who isn't, especially now with social media and everything. It's really easy to just send a like to this person, but at the end of the day, are they going to be there for you if something bad was to happen? So I think that's obviously the first step, is really evaluating who's there for you when times get bad, because it's really easy to sit back and be like, oh yeah, I'll be there for you. So I think the first thing to think about, are they encouraging you or are they discouraging you? Do you think that they're building you up or tearing you down? Because a real friend will really encourage you to whatever your dream is, whatever your goals are, whatever you're striving for. I mean, like, unless it's a bad idea, then a real friend will talk you out of it. But like, you know what I mean? In 1 Thessalonians 5:11, it says, therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. So I think it's really important to determine, are they there for you? Are they on your side? Are they believing in you? Are they encouraging you in whatever you're striving for in life, whatever that next goal that you're trying to reach is? Are they on your side, or are they like, no, you can't do it because blah, blah, blah. Like, you're a loser, you're a failure, you're whatever. Like, why would you want to be around those people? So I think that's obviously probably more of an obvious red flag, if you could say. But it's something that is really important that I think should be taken into consideration. And my next point, I think this is also a pretty big one, and it should also be taken with a grain of salt, just depending on who the person is. But if the people around you can see that something's not right, then I think that should be something that's really looked into. So like I said, I do think it should be taken with a grain of salt, just depending on who this person is. Don't just trust everybody's opinions willy-nilly. But if it's someone like a mentor or a family member or a friend, just someone that you really respect, you trust their opinion, you want their guidance, if they can see any sort of red flag, then I'm not saying like just go dump that person, but don't just like shake it off and be like, oh no, it's fine. I think a big part of this is like kind of what I was saying, like the teasing. Like, it's fun and games and stuff at the beginning, but if it keeps going on, then that's where the issue could be. But I think it's really easy to go in your head and convince yourself, oh no, they're just joking, they don't mean that. Or I say that to them too, it's fine, it's all dandy, whatever you want to say. Or another example, it's you have plans with a friend and then they're constantly late. They're constantly canceling last minute, and you could be like, oh, that's such a big problem. But if they're constantly doing that, then I think that is an issue, because, you're taking time out of your life. They are agreeing or whatever. And then they just blow you off. Then I think that's where the issue is, because they're not valuing the commitment, the time, your friendship really. So if that is constantly happening, again, I think it's really easy to convince yourself, oh, they're just busy. They want to come, but they're late or whatever. So I think that's another point where it's really good to have like a third party or someone else involved, because like I said, it's really easy to go in your head and think like, oh, they're busy. They want to do this, but they can't. They're late, whatever. But having someone that's like unbiased or whatever, they can just really help you see things clearly. Yeah, so I think that's why it's really important to take into account other people's opinions, but don't just go off them 100%. Because at the end of the day, it is you, it is your life, your friendships and everything. But I think it is a wise idea to have other people's opinions and, just how they can see it, and then they can see how stuff is affecting you. Like, someone's always teasing you, does it make you feel like useless or worthless or whatever, then that's obviously not good. Or when someone's constantly late or canceling, does that make you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough for them, or I'm just like the backup plan or whatever? That's not good either. So when someone comes to you and says concerns in that regard, I think it is really important to listen to it, but take it with a grain of salt, that you make your own decisions, and but just be accepting of other people's opinions because they're not involved in the friendship. Yeah, I think it's just really important to listen to other people and just hear what they have to say and their reasonings for whatever they're saying. And Proverbs 11:14 says, "For a lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors." So I think that's when it's important to really get other people involved and just asking like, hey, is this okay? Or what should I do about this? Just having people that you can go to and that are really like looking out for you as well. So I think another way to determine the quote unquote toxic friend is the people that are one way with you and totally different around other people. Like, I get that people do act differently around different people. Like, you're one way towards little kids, but then to your friends, you're going to be having normal conversations and not talking about kids stuff. But I think the issue is, it could be me and my friend Sally and everything's going great. We're having good conversations. We have a good time together, all that stuff. It's all going great and dandy. But then the second that Jenny comes into the picture, Sally is like, oh, Angela, like blah, blah, blah. She's awful, and just goes behind my back and starts talking trash. So when it's just the two of you, it's going great. Everything's great. It's fun. Conversation is great. You're just enjoying being around each other, and, like you are genuinely enjoying their friendship. But the second that someone else comes around, it's like this person does a total 180, that they're going from a nice, calm, fun person to someone who's maybe bossy, mean, rude, obnoxious, something like that. And there's obviously different reasons for people to do this. Like, they can be doing it to try to fit in, to be cool, because maybe you're not considered one of the cool kids in school or in town or whatever. So just associating with you is looking bad on them. So they're like, who's she? I don't know. I don't care. But then on the flip side, it can also be an issue if when it's just the two of you, they're totally rude, they're obnoxious, whatever. But then when someone else comes around, they're trying to be nice to you because they're trying to be like a suck up, or they're saying like, oh no, we're friends, but in actuality, they really don't care. Yeah, so I think that's when it really starts becoming fake, because it's like you see them one-on-one and they couldn't care less about you. But then if you're friends with one of the popular people, then they want to be your friend too, because they want to be in with that crowd or whatever. Yeah, so both can be an issue. It can be they're nice to you one-on-one and a jerk otherwise, or vice versa. Both of them are a problem and they're not good, and you shouldn't want to have those people as part of your main friend group. And point number 4 is if they're only there for you in their convenience or when they need something. So whether you need advice or something just happened and you really just need someone, you need a friend to talk to, those who really care will be there, and they're going to make it a priority to help you and to be there for you and to support you. But those quote unquote fake friends that we've been talking about, they would just make up an excuse and say, oh no, I'm busy, or I can't right now, or can we talk about this later? Or they'll talk to you, but then they'll turn it on them, and they'll make it about themselves rather than trying to help you fix whatever problem or issue you're dealing with. And I think a big sign that you can even just do on your own, and to really examine your friendships and relationships in your life, if you have to wonder if you reaching out to them, you asking for help about anything, is going to make them judge you, or like if you have to worry that you're being annoying to them, that's an issue, because your real friends, the people that really care about you, will make it a priority. And you shouldn't have to wonder, like, will this annoy them if I ask for help? Like, unless it's 2 a.m. or something. On a normal instance, you should be able to reach out to your friends without worrying that they'll judge you or be mad or be like, why did you call me at 2 a.m.? Well, I mean, I'd probably be mad at that too. So like, don't call me at 2 a.m. unless it's an emergency. You know what I mean? I think it's really important to remember that friendship, along with any type of relationship that you're going to have in your life, is a two-way street. Both people need to be putting in the effort to grow it and make it last and work and flourish and everything like that. Like if this friendship is all about you reaching out to them and they couldn't care less about asking you to do the same, they're just kind of hanging out with you in their own convenient time. I don't know. I think you should really just determine if that's something that you want to continue, because I think it's really important that you can look at yourself and be like, I'm great. I deserve friends that care about me. And if the people that you're hanging around with right now aren't doing that, then you should try to find the people that will. I think your real friends are going to be the people that are there for you no matter what. The second that something bad happens, a lot of these fake friends or whatever you want to call them, they'll just like peace out. They're like, I'm out. I don't want to deal with this right now. It's stressful. Whatever they say, the people that really don't value your friendship will just find any excuse to just leave and not have to deal with it at all. So I think that this can be a really good time to find your real friends, find the people who really truly care about you, because they're going to be with you through thick and thin. They're going to be with you when you're going through something awful. They're going to be with you when it's going great, because anyone can be there when everything's like sunshine and rainbows. That's not the hard part. It's the hard part when things are being uncertain. People don't know what's going on. People are getting angry. That's where I think it's really easy to see who your true friends are, who's really valuing your time and your friendship. All right. And to wrap this all up, so like I said in the beginning, I don't want this whole podcast episode to just be bashing people or just saying, oh, these people are awful, blah, 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 don't deal with them. But I think it's so important to really figure out and to determine, how can I love on these people? So I don't think that you should just cut these people out of your life 100%, but I don't think that they should be your squad, your posse, your main peeps, whatever, like your buddies. I don't think they should be your best friends that you spend all your time with, because I do think that you should be with people that you want to become. So, people that you share your beliefs, your morals, your values, everything like that, that you both just click and you get along really well. And how can I show God's light to these people through this circumstance of them not being the best? I think that's where everything, especially as Christians, where it can come into perspective, because like I said, when things are going really great, it's really easy to love those people. So 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4-7 says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs, it does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. So that verse really just breaks down what love is and can really be a very good tool to help you determine how to love these people. Like I said, it's a lot easier when they're being nice, but not everyone's going to be nice to you. So it's really important to learn how to love everyone. We're supposed to love everyone. So anyways, that's the end of this episode of My Unprofessional Opinion Podcast. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe to my channel, and you come back next time. Bye, folks.